Hi. So this is my first time going live. So bear with me here. I just finished washing my hair. So I just want to chat with you all while I'm doing the rest, like putting it in twist. Anyways, so let's just get started. Um, Today is when this morning, I found out about Jessica passing away, Jessica Pettway. And I have it. So I'm subscribed to her channel. And when I used to really be into like hair health and things like that, but I have not really been watching anything. So I actually was not aware that she was like MIA for some time, and I wasn't subscribed to her on Instagram. I was just really focusing on my schooling and my business recently. So, over the past few years, anyway. And so, again, I just didn't know what was going on with her. So, on LinkedIn, um, I follow or I'm connected with several people on LinkedIn, and someone had posted about her and her misdiagnoses. And um, I was reading the post and I was like, I know who this is. And so I was like, I know I follow her. And so, of course, I went back to my YouTube, not, yeah, YouTube to see and went to her page. And yes, I'm subscribed to her, watched many of her videos in the past. And so, anyways, and not that that makes it like that much more difficult because it's just hard in general. It's just hard in general when um like black women are misdiagnosed and then tragic things happen. And so I'm a nurse practitioner if you not aren't aware. So I'm a nurse practitioner and sorry. So I know all too well about like this story. I just know the story too much, too well. Okay. And I just, anyways, like there's just so much that goes on. So anyway, if you haven't heard, then what happened was that I think it was in 2022, she was bleeding a lot and didn't know. Look, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. I wasn't supposed to put that on first. She wasn't paying attention. I mean, I'm not paying attention. She was bleeding a lot. Bleed vaginally, that happened vaginal bleeding, very heavy, and she had passed out a few times and actually went unconscious and stopped breathing. Had to be resuscitated. Of course, this is me just reading the article. I think it was an Essence article online that I read, and then also um, her own retelling of this on Instagram when I did go and look that up. And so she um, went to the doctors and they told her it was fibroids. Okay, uterine fibroids. How many times have I heard that? And still, not for me, but like just women in general, just kind of written off as fibroids. And then February 8th, and I know this because when she wrote it, I was like, oh, that's my birthday. Okay. So on February 8th of 2023, she was bleeding a lot again. She went to, well, she actually had a biopsy on February 8th. She had the biopsy. But this happened because another provider, finally, somebody decided, hey, let me take a look. And I'm giving a very abbreviated version of this. So I will leave the link to the article that I read. And then if you kind of follow the rabbit trail, go down the rabbit hole in that article, you can go to the exact part in her on Instagram where she's telling the story. So she ended up having a biopsy done. So the provider who did the vaginal exam saw a mass. They couldn't see her cervix, and they saw a mass instead. And so they suggested a biopsy. And when she had that done, which I believe this was the February 8th, the provider there said, yep, it was stage 3 cervical cancer. And so she was misdiagnosed for so long, stating that it was just fibroids, and had so many blood transfusions. And she, again, anyway, it was just a mess. I'm dropping stuff over here, you guys. So she was only 36, and it doesn't matter at what age, if somebody dies like before they really should have died, if people would have been responsible and did what they were supposed to do. So I'm always like, I am concerned with people spending money on healthcare, because healthcare just sucks as far as the cost goes. But I would much rather be safe than sorry. So I have sent people for biopsies. I have sent people to oncologists. I will check. Like there was a patient that I had that I was concerned with cervical cancer as well. And praise God, she did not have cervical cancer. But like, we need to rule that out, because what if you did have cervical cancer and I didn't take all the steps that I should have taken, and now I'm part of the reason that you're not here today? That's not what God put me here for. So in Jessica's messages on Instagram, in this particular message she's talking, she had mentioned that when her husband found her unconscious in the bathroom, that I believe she stated that he prayed to Jesus, prayed to the Lord, and she came back. And God is so good. And I'm not sure if everyone that listens here, I don't have a big following, so but I don't know if everyone believes in the Lord, but I absolutely do believe in the Lord. So I was just really excited to hear about her faith. She had great faith in the Lord, and that's just amazing. And just for him to just be there and be present with her and perform the miracles on her behalf that he performed, like, God is so amazing. Like, he's so amazing that I'm literally writing a book about my own how God has like shown up in my own life, the miracles that have taken place in my own life. Hold on, because this is probably loud in my microphone. So I just wanted to say, when I was reading through her messages, she had mentioned that she had opted out of treatment. And I am not the type of provider that's like, oh, you need to do everything that is Western medicine. No, or else I would not have started my own business talking about lifestyle medicine and how we can reverse chronic diseases with our lifestyle. Okay. So I completely support people if they choose not to go the traditional route. Matter of fact, I tell them there are other options, because I volunteer at a wellness center every other month or so. And at that wellness center, got some breakage here. Yep. So there are so many people that come with cancer, you guys. And it's like their providers have written them off. They've tried. traditional medication, Western medicine for treatment, and it didn't work for them, and so then they used the wellness center as their last resort. And that's not everybody, but it is very common when it comes to the people that come for cancer treatment. And sometimes implementing those lifestyle changes in the beginning versus going the Western medicine route is actually can actually prove more beneficial than if you had went the Western medicine route. But anyhow, so she had opted out of treatment, and I don't know if she just opted out of Western medicine treatment and she was doing like natural remedies. I'm not sure. So I just want to say, like, I have a lot to say, but let me just talk about like the opting out of medicine, of Western medicine. Um, there are so many natural remedies. There are so many natural remedies, and I'm not talking about just food or just supplements, but there are so many hands-on natural remedies, which is why people go to the wellness centers, because they're going to get hands-on treatment. We're not just giving them food, and we're not just giving them particular types of supplements. We're actually hands-on doing things that are going to stimulate white blood cell production and movement to help with different diseases. Not everybody comes for cancer because they have cancer, but you would be amazed at how many people come for cancer because they have cancer and get well when their provider had written them off and they lived some longer, like they had a few months, and then now they're living and they're vibrant and they're living for years later. But there are things that you can do if you choose not to go the route of Western medicine. And again, Jessica may have been doing those things, you know. I am, again, a believer in the Lord. I know that biblically, you know, if you're familiar with the story of Naaman and how he had to dip in the water, that he went by faith, right? But there was no magic pill or no chemo or radiation for him to, granted, it wasn't as if he had cancer, but what I'm saying, there wasn't this Western medicine stuff. It was the natural remedy of go dip. And so sometimes, just like him, it may take multiple treatments of natural remedies as well, just like it takes multiple treatments of things that you do in Western medicine. Then we have the story where the blind man came and Jesus spit on the ground and put that eye salve on his eye, and like he just made some mud, right? Like he didn't give him a pill, he didn't give him a potion. Granted, you know, this is the Lord, but if we don't have faith in these natural things as well, then they might not be as beneficial or helpful to us as they could be, because we don't have faith. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. What I also wanted to state is that we have to advocate for one another. Okay, whether it is our sisters, our moms, ourselves, we have to advocate for ourselves, especially if no one else is going to do it. If there's a problem going on, you know something is not right, this is not normal. I believe Jessica has said that she had asked other women if they experienced similar things, and they had said yes. And so she kind of just thought, okay, this is just what it is, when really there was more to her case. But we have to advocate for ourselves, like getting a second opinion, um, do more research, be not like knowledgeable when it comes to our own bodies and women's health, you know, and that way we can be we can just know like when something's up. Um, that's just really important if you're like following or familiar with the mortality that rate for Black women in childbirth. Um, it's crazy, and it could be any one of us. It could be any one of us with cervical cancer. It could be any one of us going having a baby, or even postpartum. And so it's really important that we advocate for ourselves and one another. Um, so, it just broke my heart just to read that story, just to find out about Jessica passing away. And my heart just goes out to her family because I believe she was married and had 2 kids. And my heart just goes out to her. So, but yeah. So if you haven't read the article or heard anything about it, just definitely check it out. And if you are someone who prays, please lift her family up in prayer. Yeah, anyways. So if I keep thinking about it, then I'm gonna cry. So I don't want to shed any tears right now because it was hard. It's a hard thing to kind of swallow. But anyhow, okay, so that was my live, and I have what do I have? I have the wrong thing on my hand again. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I don't think I'm supposed to have this on my hand. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. I didn't get to finish everything. I thought this was going to be a longer conversation. I would like get to put all my hair in a twist so I can then blow it out. But this was oh, I do want to share that if anyone is ever interested in going to one of those wellness centers for anything, they take care of pretty much any health related things. If you want to go a natural route, there's one, like I live in Ohio, okay, so I'm familiar with the ones on the East Coast. So there is one in Kentucky that's called Red River Outpost. And they're usually, well, I'll tell that in a minute. So there's one in Kentucky, Red River Outpost, and then there is one in Virginia called um, the Hartland Cancer Center. It's Hartland, H-A-R-T, because there is a heart, regular spelled like the regular way you spell heart. There is a Hartland Cancer Center as well. That's not the wellness center. So the Heart, H-A-R-T, that's the wellness center in Virginia, Hartland Cancer Center. And then there is Meat Ministries in Tennessee. So they all do hands-on therapy and treatment. And they have like 7 days, 2 weeks, so 1 week, 2 week, and 3 week programs. And you stay there, and the staff just do these natural remedies treatments on you. And yeah, so if you're ever interested, those are names. I will also include that information in, I guess, like after I finish this live, like it does let me go back and edit and add stuff to it, right? I hope so. If not, then I apologize. Just rewind. So there's that. So when people contact me, so I've had some providers refer their patients to my business, like Eden Health Restored, but I'm virtual. So if a patient is referred to me for cancer specifically, I actually tell them that what they need, I cannot do because I don't see them in person, and they really need, if they want to go natural route, they need a hands-on. So then I refer them to one of the three that I just mentioned to you, because I would be doing them a disservice to try to treat their cancer naturally by video. And it's not about money to me. It's about the person getting help and getting off the medications, getting better, whatever the case is. Yeah. So, all right, T. Washington. Hi there. It's nice seeing you. Thanks for joining. So, yes. All right. Well, we're gonna close out now. I feel like we're at like Bible study. And we're gonna close out and we need to pray, but we're not gonna do that. But please, if you do pray, keep Jessica's family in prayer. Okay. Thanks.